Hello everyone, welcome back. You're watching the Data Labs. My name is Dilip. In this series of tutorial, we are learning how to develop a fully automated data entry form in Google Sheet and Google Apps script. So this series has 4 different parts and we have already covered form design, validating inputs and transferring data to database worksheet in part 1, searching records in part 2 and modifying existing record in part 3. So this is the 4th part of tutorial where we will write Google Apps script function to delete an existing record and reset the form. So let's move to the actual project and see all the features and codes we have already covered in first, second and third part of tutorial, and after that we will start writing the code. Okay. So this is the actual data entry form on which we are working, and in the first part of tutorial we have covered the form designing, button creation like search, save, modify, delete and clear, and writing Google Apps script to validate all those entry and transferring the data from this form to database worksheet. Okay. In the second part of tutorial we have written a function to search the existing record basis on the employee ID updated here, and once user will click on this search button, it will provide the records. Okay. And in the third part of tutorial we have written a function to modify the existing record. Okay. So let's move to the script editor window. So just click on tools and here you can just click on script editor. So once you click on script editor, it will open a separate tab for app script, that is Google Apps script window, and here you can see that this is the employee data entry form. So here we have already written a validate entry function that has already been covered in first part of the tutorial, and then after that submit, the same has been covered in first part, and in the second part of tutorial we covered this function, that is search record, and in third part of the tutorial we have covered this function, that is edit records. Okay, so these are the functions which we have already covered. So let's start writing a function to reset the form first, and after that we will start writing a code to delete an existing record. Okay, so let's scroll this and start writing a function here. So first of all, let's put comment over here and just give function to clear the user form, and here user form is the worksheet basically. Okay, so let's start with the keyword function, and the function name would be clear form, maybe clear form. Okay, and then curly braces. Okay, so let's declare a variable that will be like, with the help of that variable we will refer this employee data entry form on this particular Google Sheet basically. So let's write here var, and the variable name will be my Google Sheet, and here my Google Sheet will refer the spreadsheet app that get active spreadsheet, this one. So what it will do, it will refer the active spreadsheet, that is employee data entry form, and again we need to declare a variable to refer the user form to sh user form, and the sh user form will be like available in this employee data entry form. So we have already declared a variable for that, that is my Google Sheet. So let's start my Google Sheet dot get sheet by name, and the name of the user form is basically user form. Okay, let's put semicolon to break this line. Now we need to create a instance of the user interface environment so that we can utilize the prompt or message box feature. So let's declare a variable, so var, and that is UI, that stands for user interface, and here spreadsheet app.getUI. So with the help of getUI function we will be able to utilize the prompt or alert features, basically the message box we can see. Okay, now we need to store the response of the users, like suppose if anyone click on clear or reset form button, then it will prompt and message that okay, do you want to reset the form? If user click on yes, then it will proceed with the codes which are available in this function. Otherwise it will come out from that particular function. So we need to store the user response any variable. So let's write a variable or declare a variable, basically response, var response, and here we need to get the response with the help of UI, that is prompt. We have already declared, so UI dot alert, and here we need to prompt a message, like the title. So the title would be reset confirmation, okay, and then comma, and we need to put the message box message here. So do you want to reset the user form? Okay, a question mark. So now this is the title, basically title of the message, and this is the message. Here we are getting the confirmation, and here we need to give the button so that user can click on that. So here we need to provide two different buttons, that is UI dot button set, because we need two different buttons. That's why we are utilizing this button set. So button set dot yes and no, okay, and then semicolon to break this line. Now we have stored the user response. So suppose user has selected yes, or maybe selected yes, so basis on that we need to proceed with the code. So let's assume that user has selected yes, then we need to validate what is the user response, basically. So suppose like to check the response, we need to utilize the condition if statement over here, and if response, so response is the variable where we have stored the response of user. So response is equal to UI dot button, because we need to validate one button over here, that is no. So if suppose user has selected no, then what we need to do, we need to come out from this this function, that is clear form. So return, so suppose user has selected no, then what we are doing, we are just coming out from this clear form. And in case user has selected yes, then what it will do, it will bypass this condition, because here we are validating only no. So it means that we need to proceed with the code. So let's start writing the code. So sh UserFrom dot get range, and here we need to clear all these fields, so starting from search to address. So the search item is available in the C4 range, C4 dot clear, okay. And so this would be for search field, okay. Let's copy this line of code and replicate it for employee ID, and then employee name, gender, email ID, department, and address. So let's align this. Okay, so let's quickly change the comment section over here. So the first one is search field, that is search employee ID, so employee ID, and the second would be the employee ID which we are going to store, basically, so employee ID, and the third one would be employee name, and then the fourth one would be gender, and then email ID, and then department, and the last one would be address. So now we have done with the changing the comment section. Let's change the reference. So C4 is for search field, and then C7 would be for employee ID, and C9 that is for employee name, then 11 for gender, 13 for email ID, 15 for department, and 17 for address. Okay, So let's save this function. So now we are done with clearing all these fields. Now the pending part is we need to assign the default color, that is white, for every input field. Okay, so let me copy this line of code, maybe starting from here, and let's put comment assigned default color. Okay, and the C4 here, we need to set background, and the background color would be here, the background color would be white, so the hexadecimal code for white would be hash and 6 times F. Okay, so what we are doing, we are updating the background color here. So let's copy this line of code and replicate the same times, like for employee ID, employee name, gender, all this. So let's copy this. So this is for gender, employee ID, employee name. This is for employee ID, employee name. Then for gender, email ID, department, and address. And let's quickly change the reference. So that would be 7, 9, 11, 13, and 15, and that would be 17. Now we need to return it, so return true. So we are done with the function that is clear form, and with the help of this clear form we will reset the form basically. So first of all we will clear the data, and then we will assign the default color, that is white, to all the input fields, that is employee ID again, employee name, gender, email ID, department, and address. Okay, so this is all about the reset function, that is clear form. Let's start writing the code to delete the records basis on the search item. So let's put comment function to delete existing record. Okay, and here we will utilize the same function that is edit record, and we will make some modification. So let's move to top, and this is the function that is called edit. Okay, so let's copy this starting from the function edit and till end, this one. Okay, and let's paste over here. So first of all we will make the modification in the name. So currently it's showing edit record, so let's make it delete row. Okay, so here we are declaring a variable so that we can refer the employee data entry form, and again we are declaring one more variable to refer the user form, and the third variable that would be required to refer the database. And again we are declaring a variable that is for user interface so that we can utilize the prompt or message box feature. And again we are storing the response from the user. So here as we are not editing, basically we are deleting the record. So let's change it to delete, and the message would be, do you want to delete the record? Okay, and in case suppose user will select no, then what we need to do, we need to come out from this function. So so here we are utilizing if response, the response which have been stored in the response variable is equal to no, then what we are doing, we are coming out from this function. And in case if user like suppose user has selected yes, then these line of codes will bypass and it will start from here. So here we are declaring a variable same as the edit function, like as we did. So one variable that is str to store the search string. So basically we are searching an employee ID, so we are storing that particular employee ID in that. And again we are declaring a multi-dimensional array and storing whatever the data array or data range available in our database sheet. Okay, and then we are declaring a variable that is boolean type variable, and initially we are initializing with false, assuming that that particular the value which we are searching is not available in database. So this is our default assumption. Okay, and here with the help of for loop, we are looping through each and every records which are available in the values, the multi-dimensional array over here. So here where and I is equal to 0 and I is less than values than length, it means the length of that particular array, and I plus plus, and where row value here is equal to row value, so we are assigning a particular record to row value. Okay, and now what we need to do, we need to validate whether it's matching, like the row value 0 is equal to str. So if the records is matching which we are looking for, then what we need to do, we need to delete that particular record. So let's delete the line of code which we are basically editing. So here let me delete this line of code, and as we have already identified the row number with the help of this variable, in the same way, the same logic which we have applied for edit. Okay, so let's delete this. So datasheet dot delete row, and here we need to pass the row number that we have already stored in iRow variable. So iRow. Okay, now we need to prompt an message over here. So we have already the UI dot alert record deleted. Okay, and after deletion we need to clear the form. So here C4, C7, all this till C70, and as we have found the value, then we are initializing values found with true and then return. In case if the employee ID which we are looking for is not available in our database, so in that case the value found will remain false. So it means it is like what we are searching is not available in database, and we need to prompt an message to user that okay, the record not found, like which a user wants to delete. So we are done with deleting the row basically. Let's save this and let's copy this one, the delete function here, the name, and go to the employee data entry form, and just right click on the delete button, and again click on the triple dots available here. Okay, and click on assign, and in assign just paste the name, the delete, and click on OK. Right, again move to the employee data entry form, the Google Apps Script window, and in Google Apps Script window we just need to copy the function name, that is clear form, and just move to the employee data entry form, and let's right click on clear, and then click on here triple dot, and then assign, and just paste the function name, that is clear form. Click on OK. So now we are done with the code for delete and clear. So let's move to the database, and let's replicate the same record here, delete this one, and make the changes like 4, 5, 6, so that we can see whether the delete function is working or not. So let's first of all we need to search over here 4, 5, 6, and click on search. So you can see that it's searching the record, and in case we just want to delete this record, you can click on delete, and here you can see that do you want to delete the record, click on yes, and record deleted. Let's move to the database, and here you can see that earlier we had 2 different records, now it has only one because we have deleted the second one. Let's move to the user form, and let's test this, the clear function, whether it's working or not. So let's press 1, 2, 3 and click on search. And now in case we just want to reset this form, because you can see that each and every input field has some value, so let's click on clear, and it will take confirmation, do you want to reset the user form, click on yes. So it will reset the data, basically the form. Okay, So we have done with all those functions which are required for employee data entry project. We covered the user interface design, button creation, worksheet creation, and function to validate, transfer, modify, delete, clear, and search. So hope you enjoyed this tutorial. If you want to download the code or look at the employee data entry form, the link basically, then you can refer the description box. I have provided the link of all the tutorials starting from 1st to 4th. You can go and watch the previous tutorials as well. Thanks for watching. Please like, share, comment, subscribe. Have a great day. Bye bye.